Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of Rich T Racing. Welcome back to another edition of Top Tips for Karting, where we are doing a circuit guide to Buckmore Park. Why are we doing a circuit guide to Buckmore Park? Well, the main reason is that this Saturday, the 22nd of February, we are making our racing debut as Rich T Racing in the Intermediate Club 100 Endurance Championship. This is something we have been looking forward to now for a good number of months, and yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic to have finally arrived at the race weekend. Competing at Buckmore Park will be myself, Mr. James Derrick, and also our friend from Swansea University, Mr. Tom Hollenby. Tomorrow, me and Derrick are testing at Buckmore Park, and with that, we will bring you a little video in which we'll talk about we'll look through our footage from the test day, what we've been doing right, what we've been doing wrong, what we can improve on, all that sort of stuff. We'll also talk about our aspirations for the championship and what we personally have been doing to make sure we are in the best shape possible for this championship. So if that is the type of content you like, if that's what you want to see on your racing YouTube life, then do please be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so that you know when a new Rich T Racing video comes out, and if you could do that, that would be absolutely fantastic. So with all that said and done, with the intro out of the way, let's now get into a circuit guide for one of the best circuits in the country, nay, the world, Buckmore Park. Hello everyone and welcome back to Buckmore Park from the perspective of Rich T Racing. So this is going to be a very simple video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through two flying laps of Buckmore Park. One will be in the dry and one will be in the wet. I'll do a little commentary over it as well, and hopefully you'll be able to pick up some good tips along the way on how to take on this circuit. And then afterwards, what I'll do is I'll take you through a couple of moves I've done over the years so you can see how best to overtake on this track as well. That's about all I've really got to say at the moment. Should we do this? Let's do this. So here we go then for a dry lap of Buckmore Park. The lap effectively begins coming out of Garda, pin it to the floor, get as much speed as possible up the hill and through Cafe. That's the should go without saying really, but yeah, anyway, across the line now into Conways, run out wide, flick in, dab of brakes, and then get back on the throttle as soon as you can. Tank it through turn 2 and then look for the change in tarmac as your braking point for hairpin 1. Be a little bit patient in getting on the throttle, but then absolutely pin it heading up towards hairpin 2. Come out wide, brake, get on the throttle as early as you possibly can for the run down through the S's. Both S's are completely flat. Just flick in, keep it nice and smooth, and then Siamese sweep, flick in, hang on in there, and you'll be able to take that as fast as possible. Braking and taking the inside line into Pullman's, and then come out to the left for Paddock, run your wheels over the curb, and then come out to the wide line for Garda, which has got a late apex, run through the centre chicane, completely flat corner, and now we're heading up towards Cafe Curve. Run your wheels over those curbs. They're now completely flat now, so they are much more comfortable, and that is a dry lap of Buckmore Park. So we will now cut to a wet lap of Buckmore Park coming over the line. Got a bit more time to explain a few things here, so stick to the outside for Conways. There is more grip out here and you'll be able to get on the throttles earlier coming through hairpin 2, brake a lot earlier for hairpin 1, and run wide. There is a similar theme developing here with the corners, and we will see that once again in hairpin 2. This is the most prevalent corner for this. Run out wide on entry and then cut in for exit. You will get so much traction and get decent acceleration through that if you do it like that. The first S is a little bit of a lift and brake, but the second S you can take flat. Siamese corner is obviously not flat. Brake for it, hang on in there, try and get yourself a little bit of oversteer as you head into Pullman's. That corner is, you just got to take that carefully. Take a dry line, there's not much difference. Paddock, get over to the left, come out wide, flick in, and then is that exactly the same for Garda. Again, just making sure you are braking earlier than you would do in the dry, and then coming out of Garda, make sure you take a wide line through the centre chicane. This will give you brilliant drive coming up the hill, and then also take a wide line coming through the Cafe Curve. This will give you brilliant traction across the line, setting a brilliant lap time. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how the outside and inside line differ at Buckmore Park in conditions such as these. So we're going to start this little sequence down at Garda. Please note the guy in front of me. So coming through the central chicane, he goes to the extreme inside. I go to the extreme outside. And just look how I'm already visibly getting closer to him. Then look through Cafe. He goes inside. I go outside. We're coming now up past the curve. And look how much I've gained on him already coming now into Conways. And once again, he goes to the inside line. I go to the outside. He initially gets decent track position, but just have a look at how much he is sliding about. He gets the throttle completely wrong. That allows me to do a nice little switchback into hairpin 1. Haven't got the best line going into hairpin 1 down the inside. You see, so you can see there he gets a nut. He's trying to come back at me. Go down the inside into hairpin 2, and I run it out deliberately wide to ensure that I've got the best chance of getting good throttle acceleration, and that is the move done. So that just goes to show there how you can use the outside line in the wet to help you with overtaking. In terms of overtaking in the dry, there are 4 major places on this track where you can get easy overtakes done. The first being hairpin 1, to just absolutely send it on that man in the black helmet and red race suit. You've got to be careful that if you do that they don't try and get you back on the inside into hairpin 2, because that is definitely something that can happen. Something that can also happen through hairpin 2 is an overtake, such as that disgusting move I just sent through there on those 2 gentlemen. And now we're also going to see an example of how to overtake into Paddock. Get some decent speed on this man in the black helmet and just send it through there. You've got to be a little bit careful with this one, because you will scrub off speed, and that will give them the opportunity to overtake into Garda. And it is Garda we will come on to now, because this is a little bit of sequence from 2014. That's almost 6 years ago. Bloody hell, I'm getting old now. But yeah, this is a race. We're on the final lap of a 45-minute solo endurance race. I'm currently in P3 in the heavyweight class, or rather make that P4 as the man in the blue suit goes down my inside out of hairpin 2, and now all of a sudden I'm looking at my first ever podium in Club 100 racing disappearing. I've literally got 2 corners left where there is an opportunity, but that man there, a lightweight who's lapping us, has given me an opportunity to just absolutely send it into Garda, and somehow, not entirely sure how, it absolutely worked. And that is why, for me, Garda is the best overtaking opportunity on this track. I've pulled off many a move at that corner ever since this incident back in 2014. Wham, bam, thank you, man. But guys, that has been our guide to Buckmore Park, our top tips for Buckmore Park. If you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see us in our progression through the Club 100 Intermediate Endurance Championship, starting with this weekend at Buckmore Park, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Hit that bell for notifications so you know when a new video is coming out. And all that is left for me to say now is ta-ta and farewell.